Dani Wallace and I am the Queen Bee. I grew up on the council estates of Preston and I was furious when I found out that the Queen was born the Queen. So I set about creating the I am the Queen Bee movement to help more people show up, rise up and rise and reclaim their birthright to success. There's this quote that goes, aerodynamically bees should not be able to fly, their little wings shouldn't get their fat little bodies off the ground, and bees don't care what humans think is impossible, bees fly anyway. And so I wanted to create a space and community where we could do what bees do when they're building something new and festoon and link arms and help each other.
I need to get to know this woman. I need it in my life.
Who is this woman? I need a piece of that.
As a survivor of domestic abuse and homelessness and clawing my way back up from rock bottom, I wanted to be able to put my hand behind me and say, come with me. You don't have to struggle.
I had a dream of something that I wanted to do, and Dani, she got me there.
Georgia Smith!
How the bloody hell did I get here?
Often as business owners, we hide behind our businesses. But as the saying goes, closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not speaking about your business, who's gonna know about it? If you're not speaking about your mission and how you can help people, how are you gonna help the people you wanna help?
I just made a wish come true.
A speaking coach is somebody who's gonna be the hands at your back.
Well, Dani made a wish come true. She helped me get there.
I'm buzzing.
It's life-changing. What an amazing journey. Oh my goodness me, I loved it. Oh, I loved it.
We actively encourage people to be themselves because that's the most magnetic thing about you. What people gain when they participate and be inspired is that spark of belief in themselves that creates a furnace, that creates a bonfire, that creates an inferno.
Wow. It has been the flu shot of life-changing.
It doesn't stop there. Community creates bonds and friendships that are absolutely forged for life. It really does become so much more than speaking.
How you feeling?
It felt like I'd picked up to this really enormous thing. That was awesome. Epic. Phenomenal. It was a bit more intense than I thought it was going to be.
Exhilarating.
It went fast.
It felt amazing.
Exhausted.
Thinking at all about wanting to stand on a stage yourself or running a workshop, get in touch with Dani, you will not regret it.
You want somebody like that in your corner.
It was brilliant, the atmosphere was set, the stage was set, and it was smashing.
So the Be Inspired Mastermind is for anybody who is ready to take the leap to the next step in their business. You can get in touch with me by following me across the socials at the Queen Bee Dani, or you can head on to my website where you can learn more about the incredible things that we do as part of IATQB. It's www.iamthequeenbee.co.uk. That's peace. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I have just panic put makeup on because underneath this sort of veneer of sort of BB cream and mascara, I look like balls. I've just been backstage. Right, you stop shaking your head. Tom's backstage. He's shaking his head very politely and very kindly. But there is no escaping the fact that your girl wasn't looking her best just a couple of minutes ago. So I'm just a quick little bit of bronzer here, quick warm myself through, make it look like I'm not quite as dead as I feel. Much better than yesterday, I will. You will be pleased to know. So hello, my angels. Welcome to the show. Why is it right? The show with me, your host, Dani Wallace. I hope you are feeling good this Thursday. It's Thursday. Tom, it's Thursday. Is it Thursday? It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Oh, we've got a whole extra day this week. That's amazing. And a whole extra day just magicked itself into my life then. So yeah, that's a joy. Oh, you guys, I'll tell you something. When you hit the wall, right? So yesterday, and it was relatively early in the morning. It was about sort of 6:30, 7ish. You know, when you wake up, and it wasn't the I want to ring in sick feeling. It was the I don't think I can speak feeling. It's that I don't think that I've got anything to give anybody today feeling. And one of the things that we talk about consistently on the show is self-care and actually allowing yourself to put in boundaries or allowing yourself to take a second to breathe. And yesterday was definitely one of those days. So as well, you guys know, I don't normally call in sick to the show, and I'm very, very lucky that I have a bevy of phenomenal human beings ready to take the helm, and that's exactly what Jojo Smith did yesterday, as Daniela McCoy Beer joined us on the show, and it was a phenomenal show. So thank you so much to Dani and Jojo for holding the fort for me. Yeah, it has been a really interesting ride, and going from the run up to be inspired, directly into an intensive, directly into a challenge, directly into the launch of my life, directly into this week, which is the Bee Treat, which starts tomorrow. I just needed to press the pause button. And we have this, especially as entrepreneurs, especially as entrepreneurs, business owners, we get a little bit of presenteeism. And I have to remind myself of the story that I tell to you guys very often, which is, I remember my music teacher, Ian Gray, saying to me when he went into work, and one of his colleagues said, "You're a very self-important little man, aren't you? You think the world's going to fall apart if you don't show up to work today." And the world definitely did not fall apart, and I feel much better having rested. So, top tip to you guys, if you are feeling a little bit wobbly, it's okay. Call in. Wrap yourself up like a burrito. Watch some Netflix, and just look after yourselves, for God's sake. Is exactly what I did yesterday. Feeling miles better now, thank you. Really, really fired up and ready for what's coming up for the rest of this week. So we've got earlier this week and at the end of last week, I started to whisper to you all in the Hive, the IATQB Hive, which is my free community, that I am going to be facilitating a summer swarm. And what I mean by that is I'm going to run a series of in real life workshops through the UK, starting in Glasgow, winding up in Brum in a big circle like this, holding summer strategy sessions. So for those of you that want to get in a room and do some work with regards to getting your strategy really nailed and really sorted, refocusing, reshifting, tweaking the lens, pardon the pun, we have got Tom Stanhope on this morning, who is a lens enthusiast. He's also going to be talking to us about his challenge that is coming up around content and video content creation. You guys are going to want to get amongst that, by the way. I can't wait to have him here in just a couple of minutes. But yeah, we're going to be really sharpening up the focus for what the rest of this year is going to look like, and we're going to do that in our room together. So for each one of these venues, Glasgow, Newcastle, Norwich, London, Glastonbury, Birmingham and Manchester, we've got 15 spaces per venue where I am going to be in that room with you, with my eyes on your business, helping you sharpen up the focus for your strategy going on for the rest of the year and indeed into 2022, because we're almost halfway through 2021. What the F is that all about? So dates are going to be revealed a little bit later on today in the IATQB Hive. If you're not in the Hive already, get yourself in there. Go to the search box on Facebook, just type in IATQB. And then click join. We will welcome you in with open arms, because we're a very inclusive community like that. So that's happening. And then on Friday, here we go again. Onto the roller coaster. Tickets to Be Inspired are going on sale. So there are 70 tickets to be in the room where it's happening. So 70 tickets will be available to come to Manchester. Over the 2 days, we've got the 30th of September and the 1st of October. The tickets go on sale this Friday, or you can get a ticket to watch in the comfort of your own home. So you can either participate in the room or you can participate at home. Tickets to Be Inspired going on sale this Friday. Oh my balls. That's very exciting. Okay. Also, before I bring Tom in, Be Heard starts tonight as well. Where are my Be Hearders? Where are my Be Inspired Mastermind? Where are you all? Let us know in the comments. Are you excited? We kick off tonight at 8 p.m., which I'm really, really excited about. I cannot wait to get going. We are about to rip stuff up. There are loads of things that that we've got to look forward to here in the Hive. So yeah, we don't stop now. Just because we've done some exciting stuff does not mean that we have not got exciting stuff to come. It's all just around the corner. Really, really excited. I can see Melanie Gizzy there, Amy Blaney's there, Stephanie Zickman. Hey, you. I see you guys. Hello and good morning to all my bee herders and to my bee inspired squad as well. All right. Without further ado, I am honoured this morning that I get to interview and spend some time with one of my best friends out here in the business community and in life. I've been very, very lucky to have been on my entrepreneurial journey with him for the past, are you ready for this, Tom? Almost 3 years. We've been friends for almost 3 years. We've been on this journey together for almost 3 years, which is just, it's insane really when you think about it. But he has been my brother from another mother through all of this, just checking in, being a champion cheerleader, going for amazing carnivorous barbecue meaty goodness dates whilst we plan our respective world domination. Please welcome to the show one of my favourite videographers and also a great, great friend of mine and of the IATQB Hive, Mr. Tom Stanhope. Everybody, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dani. How you doing?
I'm so good. There you are. I like this
Big
is the only
face.
chance. Yeah, you're here with your face this morning.
Yeah, sorry. I apologise.
Don't apologize for your face ever. It's one of my favorite faces. Tom, welcome back to the show.
I know.
You
Thank
are
you.
one of our most prolific repeat offenders. Yeah.
I was just thinking. This is number 3, isn't it? Actually, which is shocking. I mean, you know, this starts to be a problem, doesn't it? Basically,
I don't think it's a problem. I don't think you guys, it's not a problem, is it? We love Tom Stanhope. For anybody that doesn't know, Tom, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Tom Stanhope, and I am, at the most basic level, somebody who cares a lot about video. But really what I love doing is helping business owners, entrepreneurs embrace video and go from nervous novice creators to confident video wizards. That's kind of yeah, that's my sort of that's my thing. I love video.
Yeah, and you do. And I mean, for everything that I've done, you've helped me create a lot of the foundation stuff that we've built IATQB on. If we look at, you know, all of our original YouTube material, we created that together. If we look at Be Inspired, February last year, you know, had the helm along with
Yes.
Shelby from Rhubarb Productions.
It was great.
We teamed up to that. My very, very first ever IATQB event, you were there right by my side filming the thing.
God,
The Show Up, Rise Up live.
Yes. And it feels, doesn't it feel like a million years ago?
A million years ago.
Yes.
It doesn't even feel like that was, I mean, if we look at where we both are now in our business, who we're surrounded with now, what we've both created since, and what you're about to create as well, because you're on the precipice of something really huge, which I know we're going to talk about this morning. It's funny because when we first start these things, it's very easy to get disheartened, isn't it? It's very easy to be stood at the bottom of the mountain. Tell us a little bit more about that, because we've stood at the bottom of the mountain together, haven't we?
Well, so our paths crossed at a really interesting moment, didn't they? So I think probably it's fair to say I was at a pretty low ebb.
Yeah.
We were sort of stuck. Myself and I run the business with my wife Una. We were stuck in a bit of a rut. Things weren't going the way we were the way we envisaged. You know, when you have this vision of what life should be, I was looking at going, this isn't what I thought my 40s would be like. and it was that moment where I thought, sorry, I'm taking charge. And that moment where I stopped hiding behind my cameras, because I'm very good at helping other people get visible. And I was looking at the thing, and we had the conversation. You were like, well, why am I not seeing more of you? I was like, because I was scared. You know, that was the point. That sort of, God, almost 3 years ago. That is bonkers.
Yeah, it is. It's crackers.
That was the point when we started having those conversations that I started to get from behind the camera to in front of the camera, and I I'm not going to lie, I found that a hard journey. But
Yeah.
in that journey, I found a way of doing things which worked for me, and it, as it turns out, works for a lot of other people, because I need to do things that kind of keep me stimulated, keep me interested. ADHD is a real bugger, frankly.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and I wanted things to be easy, and I was like, I've got to be a constant content creator. I've got to be going live. I've got to be doing pre-records, but I need to be consistent, because the key is the consistency.
Right.
How do I do that? And so that was the point those 3 years ago that I was grappling at, and now, God, it's just like night and day. So different.
Yeah,
so different.
it is. And the thing is, and this is interesting for specifically someone who does have ADHD, and this is a late diagnosis for you.
Oh yeah, massively so.
So for a lot of people as well that find that they discover this about themselves, they can go through life thinking, I just don't finish things, or I'm so easily distracted. And what you've enabled yourself to do is, in understanding yourself better, is harness it like a superpower. So I think, as somebody with ADHD, I think consistency is the thing that probably we end up being most fearful of.
Yes.
But consistency is actually the thing that you've created in a really innovative way, I think.
Yeah, so I think what you might be referring to there is, so I started out very simple. So the way I have to do it is I have to build up building blocks. I'll take you a step back. Actually, I had a fascinating conversation with a guy called Bill Morrow. This was probably about 4 years ago, and he was one of Richard Branson's very first business partners, and he now runs an angel investor business. So he connects business owners with people who are bored and have lots of money. And he says when they're looking for businesses to invest in, one of the things they are absolutely 100% looking for is a male-female leadership team, and for one of those people to be neurodiverse, ADHD or dyslexic, because they like that, and the sort of the relationship at the top down. He said it's a superpower, and that was the point where I went, maybe this isn't such a terrible thing after all. Right. And it sort of got me thinking about, how do you build systems to suit the way we do things? And the reality is, many business owners have a desire to be creating really kind of exciting and engaging video content, be it live or pre-recorded, because they need to be visible. But just because of all the distractions when you're running your own business, particularly as solo entrepreneurs, you kind of need a simple
all
system.
The plates.
Oh man, it's horrible.
All of the functions you're running, from HR to finance and marketing and everything in between. It's hard, yeah. Yeah,
and so you build the systems around, and I sort of built systems and processes that work for me. And I started out with one thing. I started out with Content and Cocktails, which is my weekly show where I sit down and take a deep dive into something video, but with a drink in my hand. Really, it started out as an excuse for me to sit down and have a drink.
As an ultimate act of self-care, just in front of everybody, just sitting. Do you know what? I want a cocktail. And I know that it's one of my favorite stories, and I think for the purpose of my audience has grown since the last time you've been on. So not a lot of people will know this particular story, but you delve into a small book.
I haven't got it in front of me.
Have you not got it there?
No. I can run and get it, but
run and get it. I'll hold the fort. Run and get it. I'll see you when you come back. Right. See you in a sec. So we're just waiting for Tom to go and grab this little book. That me and Tom had decided that we were going to enter the entrepreneurial space, that the online space. So for me, I was going to take public speaking and everything I knew about public speaking and presentation skills and community building out into the world. And he was going to do the same for video. And like we were just saying, he decided to do this in a way that, so I did the Short Rise Up show. And that my consistency was that, and that's where I've been. That's where we are. bar every day, and yours was content and cocktails, utilizing this little book that, I mean, you'd come, obviously it was yours, and we were having dinner one evening. I'd come round and we were hanging with your family, and you was telling me about this book. Tell us about Bernard's book.
Well, I was given, so my grandfather died when I was 13, and in his kind of in sort of the things that were left to me, this little book, which is called 100 Cocktails, and it says in the front, Neil Coxon, Madras, 1945. And it is a war standard issue cocktail book, which just in itself I love. I thought, we might have. There are many ways to defeat fascism, Dani, but I feel that if you can do it with a cocktail, then surely that's a more dignified way to do it. So
it's very British.
So this book, 100 Cocktails, was my grandfather's, and we have slowly been working our way through. These cocktails, and I think we've been through the cycle once already, and I'm not gonna lie, some of these are really, really bad.
Some of them are awful.
Ooh, some of them are. I mean, and so when I was constructing this idea for the show, I thought I need something to get over the fact that actually when I'm going live, I was a bit worried about structure. I was worried about sort of how I'd get people to sort of stick around, because actually just sitting down talking about video, so there are lots of people doing that.
You're just kind of telling people to do stuff, which as a consumer is all right. Like it was something that I was looking for, something that I've learned from you on, and definitely something that people come to you for. But having a hook is often really important when you're creating community and creating consistency. And so that's what you did, isn't it? Worked your way through the book and sat down with a cocktail and talked about all things video. I want to know what the worst cocktail in there is. What's been like your least favorite?
That is a very, very easy question. I will read the recipe out for you if I can find it. It is. Has
it got raw egg in it?
No, you know what? Some of the eggy ones are quite nice. I like a cocktail with an eggy topper. It's,
no.
Where is it? Oh, thank God. It's got like a sort of a section about. So the interesting thing is turns out Bernard was a woman who's got very strong opinions on what cocktails are and are not good. And so the book is kind of laced with these little kind of sides. We're going basically kind of, this isn't an amateur's cocktail. And it's like when she says not an amateur's cocktail, what she means is one will kill you.
I've seen you do some of your episodes where you have had one and you've had to stop because you can't talk.
Well, there's kind of like there's a core of there's like a regular core of people who turn up and they're like, we know we're going into the danger zone. When he says, when Tom says, I think I'm going to have a third one. Going, no, stop.
Cocktail number 3 is when things get interesting.
Yes. So here we go. It's called the 0 Hour cocktail, and this is cocktail number 100. It involves 2 dashes of absinthe, 3 dashes of creme de menthe, 1/4 of a measure of brandy, 1/8 of a measure of apricot brandy, and an olive.
Oh, it sounds like mouthwash.
That would frankly be an improvement. It is absolutely minging.
No thanks. I love your posh accent saying minging. That makes me feel happy in my heart. All right, so Tom, tell us more about the video side of things, because I mean, and this probably is a great hook with regards to talking about video content. It's like we said, often people come to me when they talk about speaking and they worry, what am I going to speak about? It's just very boring if I was to turn up every day and talk about, well, here's how you do dead good speaking and just talk about that all the time. It'd be really boring. So when people are coming to you and they want to, improve their video content, is that one of the first things that you talk about, or do you talk about tech, or what? Where do we even start with this?
Well, okay, so there are 4 pillars. Where's the camera? 4 pillars of kind of video.
I've got my pen. I'm taking notes. So
we need, in order for people to become the video content creators they need to be in this age where actually, so the idea of, I was having this conversation the other day and I thought, I thought back to sort of what I was doing to sort of market my business 3-4 years ago, and I was turning up to breakfast networking meetings, eating a breakfast I didn't really want, and talking to a small group of people who didn't get me.
Dry croissants and shit coffee and the Mexican wave of shit.
Exactly. And I was thinking, actually, if I have to do this anymore, it really is kind of, it's pretty soul destroying. So how do you take those kind of sort of more traditional sort of marketing approaches and kind of turn it into something that's actually fun? And so video is a great way of doing that. But these 4 pillars are the things that I've sort of put together that came out of my experience. First and most important is mindset.
Right.
You have to be mentally prepared to get in front of a camera. And that is right there, the thing that stops people in their tracks. They often tell themselves it's the tech, but actually it's the stuff up here. It's the stuff that we tell ourselves, the nonsense that we kind of, the reasons we say, I can't go live. What will I talk about? People will find me boring. I'm worried about trolls. I hate the way I look on camera. I hate the way I sound. I hear it all the time. So the first thing you have to do is you have to flip that. You have to flip that mindset.
Right.
So, and there are lots of things you can do to do that. And once you've done that, all the other stuff becomes a whole heap easier.
Because if we think about tech, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I know we talked about this, and I hear you talk about this a lot. Quality of sound is really important. You taught me a lot about, the quality of camera and things like that, which is why our show looks as good as what it does, and your show looks as good as what it does. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go that far for people that are just starting out. You have a phone. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you've got a phone and you've got a go live button. If you've got a phone and a go live button, your tech is sorted.
Yeah, 100%.
You can build on that a little bit at a time, a tenner here, a tenner there, 30 quid here, 30 quid there, until you've got the setup that you truly want, but that can't stop you from starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is absolutely it. And so people come to it first with the tech and go, I haven't got the tech, so I can't do it.
No.
But actually, like you say, it's about audience. And so this is what takes me to my second point, which is strategy. And the point is, so you got to talk. The second pillar is strategy. Once you've got the mindset sort of under control, and I use that very, very deliberately because
at least harnessed or sort of semi-lassoed.
Yes, tethered and focused. So you then have to think about who you're talking to, your audience, because as content creators, people live or pre-record. If you are really, really clear about who you're talking to and what they want, what they need, what your audience wants, who you want to show some love to, then questions like, oh, how long should my videos be? What should I be doing? Those become far less important, because if you're serving your people, the people that you really want to be working with, the people you love working with kind of passion and integrity and value, then again, there's like a flow from that point. So mindset, the strategy, and the strategy really takes into account all the things you'd expect it to, which is like who you're talking to, what are you talking to them about, how are you delivering that which platforms are you going to be on, and sort of, when I'm taking people through my process, I sit them down. We have a system that we go through which identifies the audience. We'll look at the platforms, but also everyone pops out the other end of that with a 6-month, week by week, or in some cases day by day video content plan. So that sort of mindset and strategy, those are really important. I think people often tell themselves, yes, of course I need strategy, but very, very rarely do they sit down and take the time to do that thinking. And it's far easier to be consistent if you can look at a piece of paper and go, okay,
that's what I'm doing today.
I'm sitting down, I'm doing this. The thing is, it's not very glamorous, actually.
It's not sexy. And for all I would love to say to the people that are sitting at home who watch people's trajectory and go, oh God, that looks really glamorous and really see. It's not. everything that everybody sees on the output of most people's businesses at the top end of the tip of the iceberg, all the really unsexy stuff has to sit underneath it, which is things like strategy, things like copywriting, things like doing the filming if that's what you're going to do. All of those things, they're the really unsexy bits, but the bits that if you're prepared to do differentiate you from being an enthusiastic amateur is just dipping a toe in to somebody who's showing up like the CEO that they deserve to be, by showing up in with that quality, which is again one of the reasons why I've done as well as what I have done, is because I wanted to show up with absolute quality instead of looking like I was just having a bit of a fanny around. I needed that strategy. Like, I was just turning. There was only so long I could just be popping my phone in my car and going on my dashboard and putting my makeup on, although that served me really well for years. Exactly. So I just allowed myself to start out there and start shit essentially, but then building up and allowing myself to learn about things like doing the unsexy work to get the sexy outcomes, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's foundational stuff, and the foundations are always the least interesting but most important part of any building. So,
right. We were talking about that a little bit earlier this week. We had Claire Sweet on Monday. We were talking about finances and wealth, and one of the most important things that you need to do when it comes to wealth and finances is just put your big girl nicks on and your big boy nicks on, your big person nicks on, and actually look at what's going on and take responsibility for the things that's going on. It's the same with this. It's unsexy work with sexy outcomes.
Exactly, and that's what I love about it, is that once if you follow the process, people go, wow, all of a sudden,
it works.
It's like the results pop out the other end. It's like, who'd have thunk it?
Right.
and so it's great. I love it. I love it. I love helping people on that journey.
And you do. And what's been brilliant to see is that you've helped so many people now with that consistency, with that showing up, and you're in a position where you're going to amplify that even more in the not too distant future, in fact, next week,
yes.
Right?
Oh.
Tell us about, because we've got lots of people that watch, and even like Gabriella's just asking, for example, Gabriella's asking, Dani and Tom, I have a question about going live consistently. I'm doing this weekly. Sometimes people are excited, sometimes people aren't. That's the nature of the beast, I think. What are your tips to make this content exciting and fun besides just being fun? So people are wanting to do these sorts of things, but there is a little incubator where you can do a little bit of this learning for free next week. Yes, Tom?
There is. Funny you should mention. So I am running my first big old challenge week, which is amazing. So this is the Go Live Get Happy Challenge, and this is a free week dedicated to helping you go from the person who consistently tells themselves, I hate going live, I'd never do that, to being somebody who has a very clear idea of what they're going to be doing, how they're going to be doing it, and actually, most importantly of all, doing it. It is all about going live with business growth in mind, because I can tell you right here, right now, my regular live has put tens of thousands of pounds on my bottom line.
It has. It absolutely has.
And that is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? When you think at all, and what that is with that intention, with you set the intention, you create the strategy, and then you show up for it. These guys, these are the things that we talk about every single day when we're talking about taking action. It eventually gets fun, because I know you didn't want to go. No, it's not what I was going to say. You've never been shit. It's always been a talent of yours. But you weren't the most comfortable when it started. I remember you feeling awkward, but not being awkward. But for a lot of people, and I found this with my challenge as well, that the first time they go live, and they do it in a safe space, which is really nice. The first time they go live is, yes, it's daunting. But then I'm watching people that have been on my challenge last week. They're going live all the time now. I see you guys. I see you going live all the time. And for those of you that really feel like this is a sticking point, next week is going to be crucial to help you get out of your own way really quick. Yeah.
Well, it's actually a really good foil to a nice way to follow on from your challenge. Actually, if somebody's not clear about their message, that's actually a huge part of the kind of the go live journey actually.
Yep.
But you're looking to build other pieces. You know, we've got the mindset, we've got the strategy, we've got the story, and we've got the technology. Those 4 pillars, those are things you need to sort of be building up. So we've got some great prizes. So there are going to be big prizes.
I want to come and win the prize.
Please do. So I would love it if please. So right, I'm just to give a little bit more flesh in the bones to this. So the doors open for a sort of a launch party on the 21st. So this Friday, there will be a sort of a launch party. And there's a kind of there's a little prize there. So I'm giving away. Get this. I'm going to give away not this copy of Bernard, but
you can't. That's the heirloom copy of Bernard.
That's the so a copy of Bernard. Although weirdly, not the hardback first edition copy. As I went out there and tried to find it, I was like 1,500 quid.
What?
So, obviously, this one is in bad condition. It's been it's all sort of, but
it's used.
It's really used. But I was like, that is mad. So I was like,
that's amazing. Is that a first edition?
Yeah. So this is
We're not winning this, by the way, you guys.
No,
if that was up for grabs, I would be there with bells on. I'd be sneaking around to try and steal it because it's a legendary book in its own right here now in my life. So you've got so you've managed to get hold of a copy of this book by Bernard.
It's en route. I found one for a slightly more reasonable price. There's that, and a portable picnic / travel cocktail kit in a lovely leather case with kind of mixes and stuff. It's a beauty. It's a thing of beauty. That's the little prize we're giving away. I mean, it's although I was looking at thinking a travel cocktail set. I'm assuming it's not for whilst you're driving, but there you go.
Not like Travel Connect 4 for the kids in the back.
Excuse me, officer. Yes.
We've got Connect 4, we've got Monopoly, we've got the cocktail set for the kids in the back seat.
Well, to be honest, there are some journeys where you think, maybe that would help things.
Maybe we require it, even just for the person in the passenger seat, if not the driver.
Yeah.
So you've got a launch party for the challenge that kicks off this Friday. When, where, how do we get involved?
So there is a link which I will, if I can share that in the Hive,
please.
In a bit.
Yes, please.
So you can go to videoacademy.co.uk/challenge. Really. There's other prizes. So during the challenge week itself, we've got sort of community champion prizes. So there's going to be a full. So I'm also launching my Video Academy course at the end of the week, which is going to be a full kind of.
That is going to be gold.
Yes.
I'm just posting the link up there for everybody so they can see. videoacademy.co.uk/challenge is how you're going to get involved. Yeah. And you're going to be flinging the doors open to your program as well. Yes. So end of the week we'll be launching Video Academy. So Video Academy is effectively the course I've been delivering with my one-to-one clients for a long time. For a decade, frankly. Yeah. But it's been brewing for ages, and so it's a mix of kind of online tuition, actual stuff that's done for you, and some in real life events. So there are going to be live, face to face, in real life with actual humans events because I miss it. I miss it massively in the forest. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Can we tell people about this? Are we not allowed to tell people? Can we tell people?
No, absolutely. We can. So I live down in Plymouth, but my family have got a place up in Worcestershire, which is it's a mum and dad's farm, and on the farm we've got a studio space now, which is quite exciting.
Amazing.
And we've got a place down in the woods where I run training sessions from.
Right.
And we've sort of been tarting it up and making it look really, really kind of nice. And so we're sort of building a proper pagoda down there and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So there is a nice outdoor but indoor space, if you see what I mean, down in secluded a bit of woodland. So there'll
this
be
is somewhere I've been. I've been through
Yeah.
this process. So I've been to these workshops that Tom runs. I've been through the process with Tom with regards to creating video content. It's the reason why you see the video content that I put out there is so good. And I make sure that, we invest accordingly now and we have things looking the way that they should be looking. But it really all stems from a jaunt in the woods, a workshop that you created, that you facilitated in this amazing space that I think is really brilliant for when you're wanting to learn or create, because it takes you out of context. So lots of spaces that we go to learn in feel quite corporate, quite clean, quite clinical, especially when they're held in like hotels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When we do the Summer Swarm, we're really sourcing like non-hotel venues to try and keep that creativity. When we take ourselves out of context, it allows for those creative juices to flow a little bit more, and you can think outside the box a little bit more, right?
Well, that's it. And actually, I love being outdoors, and I really like, it's a space that means a lot to me, and I love welcoming people to it.
Yeah.
And so we've got, it's sort of set in 30 acres of private woodlands, and it's about as remote and beautiful and sort of gloriously it's a space where you can get stuff done, but also importantly, it's got 4G.
It's got the Wi-Fi. You can actually have connectivity while you're out in the forest, which is just got the best of both worlds. So one more time for everybody who's wanting to get involved, videoacademy.co.uk/challenge. Go and sign up to the challenge there. Being in the online space, or even if you're in the offline space, having really great video content is almost imperative now to help you stand out from everybody else. And we're not just talking about super slick, super professional tech style, but even it's just the construction of that content and understanding how that feeds your business. Like you say, yours as it has mine, having this as a foundation has enabled you to grow your business by tens of thousands of pounds in turnover. So Sarah Jane Lewis has signed up. Amazing. Hey. Jules Kelly, amazing. Jules Kelly, I have Forest Space 2, and I've been umming and ahhing about whether to invest in my camel. I think I will now. Jules, do it.
Do
it now. So if you are wanting to get involved in this challenge, I implore you to, because being in Tom's world will make your heart happy. He's an incredible soul to have in your space, but also the things that Tom knows about video content creation, there isn't anything worth knowing that he doesn't know. So to have him on hand and in your corner helping you with that is absolutely worth its weight in gold. So if you could do that for free, amazing. And if you are in a position at the end of the week to even go further with that, like I did, and go even further, then it will pay you off in dividends.
Well, and also, so it's because it's the sort of the first launch. I've been told off by Lisa.
At least Johnson told you off.
She said, "This is too cheap, Tom." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I just want to do it, though.
Just don't want to put it out there."
Yes.
It is so, and I've got no doubt about this as well, because I mean the main program that I've created, both Be Inspired and Be Heard, were created in Lisa's world as well, as where I kind of built that out. And I remember being told the same thing at the time, and now it sells out. Well, we're just saying it kind of sells out overnight. So I would be striking while the iron is hot with Tom, if you are able. Tom, have you any one tip for going live? I know what you're going to say, I think.
So this is a mindset thing.
Yeah.
I am. So, you have to get around the mindset thing, and I haven't told the story, and I'm not going to tell it now. But if you come along to the phone, you'll hear about this little VHS. So this says Tapestry Productions, Attic Antiques, Tom Stanhope screen test. If you want to find out why this little videotape kept me from getting in front of the camera for almost 17 years to come to the challenge, but how do you flip that mindset from being somebody who wants to hide away? Because when you look at yourself, when I would say I hate the way I look on camera.
Yeah.
First of all, what a terrible thing. You'd never dream of saying that to somebody. If
No.
you sat down with your best friend, they said, I've made a video, I want to show it to you. And they, you sat down, you watched it. You'd never turn around to them and go, you know what? I really hate the way you look on camera. You'd never do it, but we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. So first of all, bit of self-kindness. Second of all, think about this. So you are looking, when you see yourself on screen, you are seeing yourself in a way that is different to the way you construct your internal image about yourself. Right. We construct our internal sense of who we are from looking in mirrors.
Right.
When we see ourselves on screen, it's a flipped image.
Yeah.
The human brain is incredibly good at pattern recognition and sort of pattern matching. Our faces are not symmetrical. So when we see ourselves on screen, as opposed to in a reflection on a mirror, our brain on an intellectual level, we're going, yes, that's me. Of course, that's me. But on some kind of subconscious level, your brain's going, that's not you. That's something. This is weird. So there's like a cognitive dissonance that's going on. So you need to train yourself. So here's my tip: to flip that kind of sense of self. Take a screenshot, print it out 4 or 5 times, and stick it up in places where you are going to see yourself as other people see you. Because that's all you're training. All you are training your brain to do is understand how you look to other people.
Yeah. I mean, the last 12 months has been a real foray into this, hasn't it? Like, for anybody that spends their time on Zoom, and a lot of us do, we are intently often looking at ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Benignly looking at ourselves.
Bonus tip here. If you want to keep your eyes on your camera, put a pair of googly eyes on your camera.
It's my favourite thing that you say. And it works. It really, really works. So when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you. So I'm looking across the screen at you. But like, my camera's up here. So if I'm just talking out to camera, but I've got 2 little eyes. I can't show you because it's on my camera, but I've got 2 little eyes on my camera because of you. But often we do that, and we can do that on our phone as well. Like, treat this like the eye of your audience here, and not your eyes aren't the eyes of your audience. They're actually looking to where you're looking. If you're looking here, you're looking at them. Amazing. Tom, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so
it
much.
Is a pleasure as ever to hang out with you. It's just an opportunity for us to sit and have a brew and catch up, really.
It's always lovely. Thank you.
You're so welcome, and best of luck for next week. I will be popping in in a bid to win that
please do.
Coveted copy of 100 Cocktails by Bernard. Thank you so much. Tom, stand up, everybody. The crowd go wild.
Bye-bye. Oh, hello.
I just left Tom. I left the studio. I left you on. I'm so sorry. Tom, I love you. See you later. Oh, that went well. So if I'm going to get it wrong, I might as well get it wrong with my friends. It's not often I get it that wrong. Right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show at Rise Up Show this morning. It certainly perked me up talking to you all. If you do want to get involved with Tom's challenge, which I implore you to do, if you go to videoacademy.co.uk/challenge. Tom was just sort of, imagine that was like, like a newsreader at the end when it pans out and he's sort of shuffling his papers and looking busy. But please do go and get involved. I will be checking in with this challenge as well. I'm so excited to see all of you that are coming on to the Bee Treat. Me and 11 other wonderful human beings are going to be hanging out between Thursday and Sunday this week as we deep dive into strategy. And just, do you know what? It'd be nice to just hang out, all for the purpose of business, of course. That's the Bee Treat. Starting tomorrow. Tonight, Be Heard kicks off this afternoon. However, I am going to be sharing with you the dates for the Summer Swarm. So the Summer Swarm are a series of workshops. I'm going on tour through the UK for a series of 1-day workshops whereby I will have my eyes on your business as we turn the kaleidoscope on what your business could look like on into 2020. So we'll be planning out the rest of the year and into 2020 as well. There'll be food, there'll be swag, there'll be consensual hugs, and there will be lots and lots of laughing and lots of strategizing. If you want to get amongst it, get yourself into the hive or keep your eye, pardon me, on your emails when more details will be flying their way to you. Have a phenomenal day today. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe I gained a whole day. I was thinking it was Thursday. Have a wonderful day today. I will see you. Will I see you tomorrow? Yes, I will see you tomorrow for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. We've got Marilyn Okoro, Olympian Marilyn Okoro, is going to be joining us on Friday as guest host. So please do stay tuned for your morning fix of Queen Bee-ness. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Ciao.